Hello everyone. My name is Navya. For those who are watching, this is my absolute pleasure to host and talk to Miss Vidisha on behalf of Girl Ups United, which gives girls the resources and platform to start a movement for social change. Though our guests need no introduction, but before I start this session, would like to give a brief summary of her work, achievements, and her philanthropic contribution. She is currently pursuing philosophy from IPCWGU. She majorly enjoy volunteering work as she is currently teaching government school children. She is also a founder of a startup called Edenu, which is about online courses and GU also. Today is the first day of Taboo Week that that organization has started. I would like to welcome our esteemed guest, Miss Vidisha, to share our thoughts with us. Be it like hashtag Black Lives Matters, currently happening all over the Western world, or our homegrown obsession for finding a white skinned bride. So, ma'am, as we all know that we have come across many examples, and for the same, I would like your contribution that what you think about it. And so my first question to you, ma'am, is that why these Black Lives Matters and why this discrimination is basically happening in the society?
I think it's a very imperialistic mindset that we have as to like it goes back to the time of Britishers, I'd say, in context of India, that they had a different kind of personality, a different kind of aura, and we always used to idolize them. We used to keep them at a higher pedestal, and Britishers themselves created a image for themselves where they called themselves a better person than the Indians. So therein every feature of them became a better feature, right? For example, the fact that they spoke English, so now English has become an elitist language in India and has become a form of showing your posh, how posh you are, or how high society you are, how educated you are. Same way, I think it has gone for how what their skin color was. So because they were fair, now being fair has become a very elitist concept, and the fact that everybody has to be fair, and if you are fair, that is when you're pretty. So I think for in context to India, the love for fairness has grown from, I think, the imperialistic times. But having said that, it did, I mean, I wouldn't say that before Britishers it didn't happen, but the definition of fairness and the reason and the rationale that we have for fairness now, I think it has a lot to do with imperialism there.
Okay, but ma'am, it's been around 79 years from the independence. But why this is still going on?
I think because, see, there is also a fact that, of course, racism from abroad has definitely been ingrained here as well. How in America it's such a taboo issue. I think that has been influencing the culture in the East as well. But I think, again, the advertisements, the movies, the books that we read, and all of the things, like every part of our culture is reinforcing the idea of being fair, right? For example, literally anything that you pick up in these times, like I read this article regarding how in any novel also, when a girl and a boy is described, it's so different, right? A boy is described as having these features, doing some kind of job or something like that, while a girl is described as she was wheatish, or she was fair, or she was beautiful, or she was ugly, or she was something like that. It's all about her looks, right?
Yes,
And that, and in the movies that you see, like the amount of, so if you go to previous movies, like some movies in 1900s, right, in India, in Indian culture, in Bollywood, everyone is putting on so much makeup, and that makeup is literally just trying to make you fair, like you literally look white in the makeup. And so goes the same for even the male actors as well. Everybody's putting on so much makeup and has red rosy lips all the time,
yes,
right? And even now, like I can barely name any actor right now who is not fair, right? I mean,
exactly, ma'am.
So the whole culture that we're promoting and the fact that Fair and Lovely still exists is so problematic. Like, and not just Fair and Lovely, all these other creams do the exact same thing, have the
Yes,
exact
ma'am.
same idea, but just don't have the name of that sort, and then we don't call them out as much. But we only focus on Fair and Lovely, but basically all of these things are promoting one single idea. So it has to exist. Like, we're seeing that at daily basis.
Yes, ma'am. Like Fair and Lovely remind me an incident like it's a big shot company, but after the hashtag Black Lives Matters, they need to replace Fair from the Glow and Lovely, and still they have many products in their kitty which makes handsome and beautiful. So, ma'am, what you say about it?
That's the problem now, how we have defined the definition of beautiful for even a man or a woman, is that being fair is beautiful, right? Like, you can have any kind of a personality, you can do any kind of a thing, but as long as you're fair, you're good enough, you're good to go for literally anything that you want in life, which is the most problematic thing going on, right? Because the entire narrative of being beautiful has been changed completely, right? You've equated beautiful to being fair. So what Glow and Lovely did was, I guess, just a marketing strategy, because
Yes, ma'am.
you're still selling the same product under a different name. Like, what do you mean glow? Am I a bulb or what? Like, what do you even mean by glow and lovely?
Exactly. Now
And
and yes.
yeah,
And ma'am, they advertise in such a manner as well. Like if you apply Glow and Lovely on your face, you will be winning a beauty pageant as well, or you will be successful in your company.
not beauty pageant. You will become the CEO of the company the day you become fair. One
Yes,
day you're
ma'am.
coming to auto, and the next day you're coming in the Mercedes just because you're fair now. So the idea that you're selling by being fair is so stupid that people actually end up believing it and honestly saying they're not wrong. Like, the kind of racism that happens at workplaces, that
Yes,
happens
ma'am.
literally everywhere in schools and all, being fair literally adds to your advantage. And they're not, I would say, exactly wrong even to portray that, and people legit believe it. And I wouldn't blame them to do so, because I have friends who I mean, all of us have had some of the other very dark tonish child in our class, and I don't remember them ever being called out by their name except Kalu. Like, literally, their name was Kalu in the class, and we never complained about it. Not that that
Yes,
child had
ma'am.
literally ingrained in himself that, it's okay for being like everybody calling me Kalu because I am.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
that wasn't even considered as racism then, because you just think that, oh, they're my friends, they can call me that.
True.
So, I mean, the fact that they equate success with fairness has, I mean, a little amount of truth in it, definitely. But again, I mean, it's just weird how things have become now.
Like, ma'am, you said something about the movies. So, what movies play role in all these things, and how movies or Bollywood can change our perspective towards it? So,
Right. So, uh, even in movies, if you see, like, if you remember the movie Viva, if you,
yes,
the
ma'am.
movie. So there were two sisters. One was I am forgetting her name, but two
With
sisters.
the
One was fair, one was dark, right?
yes, ma'am.
And she was always criticized for having dark skin, and her mother would like literally stand on her head full day to keep applying things and things to get fair. And
Yes, ma'am.
we were always jealous of the fair one, because all the rishtas used to come for her and not for the darker one. So, like, you literally, like, there is no curtain also that you're putting to even blind the fact that this is not blatant racism, right? You
Yes,
literally
ma'am.
saying that she's fair, she'll get more rishtas, and she's dark, she's not going to get any rishta. You need to be fair to get rishtas. And
Yes, ma'am.
so, like, the movies are literally putting it out in your face that, this is the only way you're getting acceptance and validation in the society. So of course movies have a very big role to play. Like, even now, if you consider Priyanka Chopra, Deepika Padukone, these are not conventionally fair actresses, right?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you see the real pictures without makeup, these are not conventionally fair actresses as to what if you compare her skin tone to Alia Bhatt, let's say.
Yes,
But all of them end up putting on so much makeup and all of their pictures are in so much light that they end up looking so fair, right? Like, I'm very surprised and proud of the fact that since Priyanka Chopra has changed her whole fraternity to Hollywood and all, she's been very comfortable with her skin tone and she's showing it more. But like, if you consider Deepika Padukone and actors of her sort, they put on so much makeup that they end up looking fair. And like, that's the problem. Like in the movies, you will only find fair actresses, and if at all it's a so-called woke movie, they will show a dark actress who is so dark that it will become a part of her personality that she's dark. Like it will become a character that she's a dark girl. You would
yes, ma'am.
not like just consider her in passing that that is her character, and you won't focus on her character. Like it will be made a point that her color is pointed out so that people recognize that she has a dark shade or she has a darker color, which does not happen in the otherwise white actresses.
Yes, ma'am. So, is this taboo is very engaging and very popular in India only, or other countries are also uh, are indulged in
I think this, like, okay, so if you, every country has a different kind of a skin tone for sure, but the way movies and all have been portraying it shows a lot. Like, for example, in America, if you see any of the movies, you will only find that either it's whole white cast, or just to include or like have some sort of inclusive cast, they'll put one black character. And
this.
now it's a recent trend to put one black character just for the heck of it. And or like recently you see Latino actors as well, having a mixed kind of a skin tone.
Yes,
So, and in all of these things, so if you observe, there's a makeup trend also of something called a highlighter.
yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
now that is so problematic because it's not, you're not just shine, like it's not just shine. Like the whole idea is that you're trying to shine in a different way. Like why do you want to highlight yourself in such a way? Like foundations and all, of course problematic, but this highlighter is pretty much common to all of these actors and like across the world, right? Every actor will use a highlighter, but you're trying to shine, you're trying to glow. Why? Like, the whole idea behind makeup and makeup artists and all of these things, however people say that makeup is an art or something like that, it's not. It's literally how marketing has been done in order for you to make, in order for you to think that if you have a smoother skin, if you have a fairer skin, or even if you're using the same skin tone as yours, having a smooth and clear and a clean and a highlighted skin is the kind of skin that you want. And it's not art, it's just a manufactured consent that you have, that this is the kind of way that I want to be, this is the kind of way that I want to look, which is like been created through advertisements and through movies, that I want to look like Deepika Padukone, or I want to look like, let's say, Sandra Bullock. But why? I mean, they're in the movies. Like that's one separate thing. You can't be walking around every day like that, and that's not
Ma'am.
art. That's your head saying that this is how I want to look all the time. No, I want to look like this the entire time. That's how I am. I don't want to put 1 hour on my makeup just to look like an actor. I mean, the
Yes, ma'am.
things.
But what I've received from the younger generation, like they felt left out when they don't look beautiful. Like like girls don't make girlfriends who are not fair in skin, or though they have rough patches on your skin. Or boys don't do friendship with other girls. So what should we do to encourage our younger generation to not to do
So
discrimination?
yeah. So I have been a part of that. I will say I've been on both ends, that I have also judged people for their colors or having skin issues, and I have also been on the end who was judged. So I know both sides of it. So I also have a YouTube channel, and I kind of do sort of content creation on Instagram.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
in this lockdown, like I haven't gone to the parlor once. Okay, so I have hair growth all over my body. My eyebrows are undone. I have mustaches, like literally everything going on right now. And I
Yes,
haven't
ma'am.
been to the parlor once, nor have I called somebody home. I'm literally in my natural avatar right now. And what I made a point was that in any of my videos, I'm not going to put any amount of makeup. I will not get my eyebrows done. If it bothers you, let it. I am not going to get my legs waxed, but still wear shorts. If it bothers you, let it. Because I am so done with boys around me telling that go get waxed. I will not. It's my
Yes,
body.
ma'am.
I like my hair, and I don't want to go through that pain just because you feel comfortable with it. So I mean, the what I realized was, so I was in a very I would say a posh school in my 11th and 12th grade. So it was because it was a high society school, so every girl would get their eyebrows and waxing and all done in, I guess, 9th and 10th grade only, which was not common for me because I kind of got it done in 11th grade or probably end of 12th grade, somewhere like that. So I used to see them in skirts and have smooth legs. So I was like, okay, even I want to get that. Even I want to get that. And I would see that, guys would prefer them over anybody else, right? And I would see that how they would look at a particular girl just because she looks in a certain way, or just because, let's say, she has body hair or she has a Vidisha complexion or anything like that. So I would see that, and which is why I used to pester my mom as to, I want to get this done, even I want to get this done. And I would. And I had this guy as my friend. So once I started getting my eyebrows and mustaches done, he would like literally stand on my head on one day, like if it was overdue, teri मूछें आ गई है. And I was like, and he would say it to me in front of all of my friends, and that would make me so conscious as to like, and that time I would like, teri bhi to मूछें hai, or I'll come with some stupid comeback just to feel not embarrassed. And and now I think that why was I embarrassed? Like, I mean, I had to change myself. I didn't have to change him, right? Because if at all I change him, like he will stop commenting on me, but there'll be 10 other people who will point out my mustaches, or who will point out that I have unibrows now. So I was like, I can't change them, but I can change how I look at myself. So if those things don't bother me, so if tens of people also come at me and say that you have mustaches, you have to get your upper lips done, I wouldn't care, because I am comfortable that way. So the very, very most important thing right now is to be comfortable on your own, right? Because there are going to be tens of people who are going to be asking you to get your mustache done, to get your upper lips done, and to get waxed, or get, rid of body hair, or get rid of acne, or, probably get fairer. But as long as you are comfortable with how you look, with how features you have, it wouldn't matter whoever points it out to you, because you would just think that they're too shallow in life and they just don't know too much. So, like, let them be,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that acceptance from your end is more important than whatever any other person says. So
Yes,
this
ma'am.
is what I've realized right now in the lockdown, right? Because, and so one day I had gone to a cousin of mine and my aunt. So we're in lockdown, right? Nobody's going to the parlor at any point of time, and this was, I guess, 2-3 months into the lockdown, so nothing was open as well. So I was wearing a dress, I guess, so my legs were visible. So she was like, "Hey, haven't you been to the parlor because your hair are growing on your legs?" And I'm like, "Definitely, of course, I haven't been to the parlor. It's the lockdown. I mean, how do you expect me to go to the parlor?" So and I was like, I didn't care at that point because I was too comfortable with it. I had never have my hair growth for more than 2 months, and this time I had, and I was comfortable with it. I didn't give a shit anymore because it didn't matter, because I was comfortable with it. So, like, that's the most important thing,
Yes,
being
I
comfortable.
think being comfortable also shows the confidence and the grace on the face.
Exactly.
So, ma'am, apart from that, ma'am, as we all know that hashtag Black Lives Matter has changed to the another level. Like it's being used by the politicians and the actors to say something and to demonstrate themselves in the society. So, what do you think about the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement?
So, okay, there are two things here. One is people who are supporting Black Lives Matter in places where we have a major population of Black lives, like for example, the US or somewhere like that. And then there are people in India, okay, where we do not have a population of Black lives. We have people who are of a fairly wheatish complexion or probably somewhere in the brown scale, but no Black people here, right? So, first of all, coming on to the US, it has become a great movement. Like literally everybody's talking about it. Most actors, if you see right now, their entire Instagram page is filled with the helplines, with the donation lines, and all of that. And it's literally great seeing actors coming out and supporting a cause in their country for everyone, for the minorities. It has been great. And you know how things have changed, how people are getting justice. That's just really amazing to see. So that has been going very well there. But in India, people are supporting Black lives, but they still don't care about it. They're
Okay.
literally sharing it because it's a trend. They don't care about what is going on about lives, Black lives. They might not even have met anybody who is per se a Black person, right? But they're still supporting Black lives, but they would still discriminate on their friends who is probably of a darker complexion than them. They will still call their Black or a brownish friend uh, Kalu, and they still do that. And they're just supporting it for the heck of it. Like they're just supporting it because it has become a trend, just because it's a trendy thing. And that is the most problematic thing in India. Like everybody will become a part of the trend. Like they will write anything that is going on. Like they are supporting George Floyd as much, but again, when it comes to their friends, when it comes to their parents being racist about anything, they will not point that out. They won't even recognize it for a change. And which is a very very problematic thing, because people are becoming woke per se, but it's just pretentious, right? Because it's all, it ends on your Instagram story, and there is no real life impact or real life action to these things. And same goes on for America as well, right? The amount of Black representation in movies and the amount of uh, wheatish complexion representation in Indian movies is still nil, right? It is still not there. People, actors, I would say, who are supporting Black Lives Matter are still endorsing for products that give out fairness creams and all. And it really happens, and you can't, and you're not making an impact on yourself, but you are supporting the, like for example, I think it was Disha Patni. She was supporting Black Lives Matter, but she was also supporting a Garnier's cream that was meant
Yes,
for
ma'am.
fairness. And that's the sheer hypocrisy. And it doesn't end to Disha Patni. It's literally everybody. They're supporting Black Lives Matter, but they're still supporting creams. They're still using creams. They are still discriminating on the basis of color on their friends, on their family members. Like it's, I mean, I wouldn't call myself very dark, but in terms of my family, I am. Okay. So every time, so I have a few aunts of mine. Every time they'll see me, they'll have a different perception. So it's, so one day I went to her place and she's like, Ki, because we're in lockdown, so we're not exposed to sun at all. So she's like, Ki, lockdown maybe you didn't get fair. And I'm like, what do you even mean by that? What am I supposed to do to get fair in lockdown? And I mean, that kind of didn't hurt me, but embarrassed me, right? Because she said it in front of everybody, and I was like, okay, what am I supposed to react on that? But then after I came back home, I was very pissed at her because she said it in front of everybody. But then I was like, why am I pissed at her? Right? Because she said that I am not looking fair, which means I'm looking dark. Is that a bad thing to be? Why am I embarrassed about it? right? So that's when I realized that you feel embarrassed when somebody calls you a kalu because you think being kala is bad, because you think being kala is somebody mocking you, is somebody saying not a good thing to you, which is why you feel embarrassed. And that's when I realized it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Those people are legit great. They got out of such a big slavery movement. Like they are so strong about that. They have such a great willpower. How me being called them is an insult to me. So this is, I mean, that's how the narratives have to change. And just by writing Black Lives Matter on your Instagram doesn't end things there. Like, you need to be more beyond that. Like, Instagram story should be a byproduct of your uh, essential thinking about that topic. Yeah, right. I mean, it shouldn't be that you put on a story and then you might end up getting woke about a particular issue. It should be you becoming and you understanding an issue and then posting it on Instagram. Like, it should be a byproduct, not the other way around.
Yes.
So the way that people understand that cycle, I think more people will be understanding the point of the trend instead of just posting it up.
And ma'am, what do you think about the boys who want fair skin bride?
I don't. Uh, I will not blame them per se, because it's like years and years of racism, years of them being taught how fair is better. So I wouldn't blame them completely for thinking that way, because I mean, even in my family, so I'm from a Baniya household. So how we choose brides is upsetting at times. The color, the beauty, the money she has, and these are the only three criteria that we say: if she's fair, if she's pretty, and if she has money, and your bride's all set. So this happens in my family, right? I mean, I have seen girls getting rejected because they were not fair. So I can't. And I mean, the only thing that you can ask them to do is unlearn those things, right? Because this is the whole this has to be the whole process. You learn something, you read about it, and you know that it's not something to be learned, and you unlearn it, and then you relearn something new. So those boys who want a fair bride, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but learn the right thing right now. Like, understand the writer thing, understand that color is not essential at all. If she's fair, if she's whitish, if she's dark in color, or and like, color should not be a criteria only. Like, just how, let's say, what color of clothes you're wearing is not a criteria in selecting how your bride or groom would be, it should not be a criteria how your skin color is, because it literally defines nothing about you, nothing at all.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, my last question to you is that what we can do, like as a younger generation, what we can taught our parents, what we can taught to our elder and our youngers also, that how this discrimination can be demolished.
Like I said, talk to them about it, and if you can't talk to them about it, start defying them. Like, take small steps and start defying them. My mother has been after my head to get my eyebrows done. She's been after my head that it's a lockdown, you're so free, do put on some face packs, put on this, put on that. Defy them. Tell them, no, I don't want to, I'm comfortable the way I am. Take small steps in accepting yourself first, right? Because the day that you have accepted that you are of a particular complexion, that you have a particular thing on your face, the day that you've accepted yourself, you would not at all care what your parents say, what anybody else says in your family, right? Or even your friend. Like, if anybody is racist to you, you wouldn't care then, because I mean, they are shallow. They have not learned the right thing. It's their problem. I don't have to piss myself about it. I don't have to get upset about it, because it's not my issue. It's their issue. And the day that you learn that, you would not care about anybody calling you anything else. And
Yes,
the
ma'am.
day that this number increases of people accepting themselves, they would not call out anybody else also of any particular name as well. Because once that I know that being dark is not a problem, I will not care about somebody being of a particular complexion. And that day I will stop calling somebody else out for on the basis of their color, and I will not care if somebody calls me out as well. So a, accept yourself. B, try to defy your parents or anybody else. Like, be normal about it, be very casual about it. If they say, yeah, you got so tan, like, yeah, I had a great vacation, you know what, like, I mean, I paid for it, I better get tanned about it. So like, just be casual about it. Just don't get embarrassed, don't get insulted, because it's not wrong, or it's not an insulting thing to be called dark, or it's not an insulting thing to be called black. Because I mean, you should be proud that you've been associated to such a great uh, line of people, I guess.
Yes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your words. We have learned many things from you, like we need to be comfortable to ourselves. We need to show others that where you are wrong, and we need to teach others. We need to talk to our elders and our younger generation as well. Thank you so much, ma'am, and our girl team is really very obliged.
Thank you so much. Even I have a Girl Up chapter, though, Girl Up Now. So I hope to collaborate with you in future, definitely. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you.